Hey Facebook, what's going on? My name is Brooke Nichols with Nature's Premier Diaper Service. Join me for a little bit today while we discuss something that's very important and not many people talk about. So today we are going to talk about nature deficit disorder. If you know anybody who has young children, who may have children in the future, who has children that are older, younger, and anywhere in between, please do share this video. It really does help get the message to more people who can use this information or who do not even know that something like this exists. So let's get started. So today, again, we're going to talk about nature deficit disorder. This is a phrase that was coined by Richard Louv in his 2005 book called Last Child in the Woods, meaning that human beings, especially children, are spending less time outdoors, resulting in a wide range of behavioral problems. Richard's book brings together cutting-edge studies that point to a direct exposure that nature is essential as part of a child's development and healthy physical development as well. So just before I get started with, all of the reasons why nature deficit disorder is so important, I want to recommend his book, Last Child in the Woods. I actually read this about 9 years ago when my youngest was a little under a year old, and it really stuck with me. There's so many studies in this book. He does a fantastic job of connecting the dots between, not being outside enough in nature and all of these disorders that are pretty new that we're seeing within the last 20 years or so. He also links technology to this, huge issue that we are having that a lot of people aren't talking about. So I don't want to talk too much about what's in this book because I really highly recommend that you go to a library, check it out, order it on Amazon, on your Kindle, ebook, whatever you guys want to do. But definitely give this book a good read. I'm actually rereading it right now because a couple of things I've seen online and in the media and things like that just really connected me back to this book. I knew that we were losing our way in nature, especially with technology. Let me just say technology is fantastic. It's great. It is awesome. We need it. I'm talking to you guys on an iPhone right now. Technology is fantastic. But when you go too much one way, you start to see it pulling on other things. So there is, I always thought that there was more we could do to get our children outside, and I never felt like having a child inside all day playing video games on their phone, Kindles, iPads, iThings, Kindle things, everything was ever really good for them. And this is something that I've actually thought of when I was a kid, when all of my friends were playing PlayStation and Sony things. I remember I just wanted to be outside and draw and play, and that's where I found solace, that's where I found peace. And I always felt like more children needed to do that, but they didn't. So when I read Richard's Last Child in the Woods, that actually coins the name nature deficit disorder, it kind of clicked in my head that, wow, that really is a thing. It's not just something that I thought. So it's really, really, really important that we, get not notified, but we understand that this is a real thing and we get educated on this topic so we can help our children and, whether they be our own or the community, to get outside more and do more things in nature. And, so we don't rely so much on technology because we do need nature at the end of the day. And there are so many therapeutic, good things that we get out of it, especially as a young child. So there was a very informational site that I came across recently called TexasChildrenInNature.org. Definitely check out this website. It is probably the most informational website on this that I've ever seen before. It was so informative. I read every single page on this website. It was so, so, so good. Just like Richard's book, I really, really, really recommend checking it out. They have a one part that I wanted to discuss, and I'm not going to do a deep dive into this because it's on their website, so definitely check them out at TexasChildrenInNature.org. Give them a like, give them a follow, and see what they have going on. So I don't want to, go too much into it because it's all on the website, but I will hash some of the things that they talk about. This website, just like this book, no, they're not related, but they have so many studies that show that there is a correlation, a very strong correlation between lack of nature in a child's childhood and issues such as obesity, depression, attention deficit disorder. I mean, there's so many different things. So definitely check this website out. So on their top 10 page, they list the following reasons why children need nature back in their lives, and many, many, many studies, again, back it up. They list 10 reasons, and there's so many more reasons, but this is just like the top 10. When you click on each reason, they actually open up another page to a full page of studies by medical doctors, by children in the industry, psychologists, therapists, all of the like, everybody in that field that talk about this. So this is just kind of like an unspoken disorder that may be the cause of a lot of issues that children deal with now that we just are starting to know about. We highly recommend, again, checking them out and following their work as well. This is such an important topic that needs more attention. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to jump into the comments section. I will list the top 10 off, and I will jump back in and answer any questions that you may have. So this is from their website. Again, check their website out, and just to do like a deeper dive into each, benefit of being outside in nature. So these are the reasons why children need nature to be happier, healthier, and smarter. So the first one is that children are physically and mentally, they're healthier physically and mentally. Number 2, they do better in school. Number 3, they have a higher self-esteem. Number 4, they have good discipline. Number 5, feel more capable and confident. Number 6, are good problem solvers. Number 7, are more cooperative than others. Number 8, are more creative. Number 9, feel connected to nature. And number 10, are tomorrow's conservation leaders. So that's what's on their website. Again, every single reason is connected to a whole slew of research by medical doctors in this profession that will back it up. It was just way too much content to to go over tonight, because it's so specific, and it's really something that you guys should check out, because I read the data and it's fascinating, to be honest with you. A lot of these issues, they leak to children not being outside, children not being in fresh air, children not getting enough exercise. Because at the end of the day, you can go to a gym and go on a treadmill, but there's nothing like hiking outside or playing outside or doing things outside. There's just nothing like it. And when a child is outside, they're breathing in the fresh air, they're on the grass, they're rolling around, they're playing all sorts of different things. They're getting more of a workout, they're getting fresh oxygen, which studies have shown that helps to, raise their confidence, even for health reasons. It helps to trigger very much of like a euphoric feeling. So it's very good to be outside in nature. This is important, especially with sports. There is a growing trend of gaming, being on, like, not to pick on PlayStation, but I'm 30 years old, and that's what we played with when we were younger. And now there's so many different gaming systems I have no idea about. But there's I think they're even going to allow like the Olympics to have like that kind of gaming. And I'm not saying that it's not necessary or it's not needed, because I definitely think it's cool. There's a lot of gaming when done in moderation that's really interesting to watch. But there's also a lot of outside sports that children don't partake in anymore. You have hiking, you have camping, you have rock climbing. I have 3 young daughters. They're all like getting into rock climbing now that they're getting older. There's rowing, there's running, there's so many different things. And these are proven to help a child become healthier physically, mentally. If you see those movies, especially from back in the day, back in the day, you see these movies where, people are upset, they run outside to that tire slinging, and they sit down and they gather their thoughts and they're around nature. And this isn't like a bunch of yuppie stuff. I mean, maybe a little bit, but it really does help. And you see a lot of children now are on medications, and, of course, some of them are, need to be on medication, but then there's also the argument that what if children were outside more? What if children were reading more? What if they were playing outdoors? What if they were in the fresh air? What if they weren't in front of a screen all day? Would that help them in the situation that they're in, whether it be for depression or anxiety or anything like that? We are bombarded by technology every single day. If you take the technology out of your life, a lot of people will say that they get more productive, they think clearer, they're not being distracted. And even if you're very pro-tech, Like, I'm not against it at all, and I'm not saying I am, but if you're looking at the research, and even if you are pro-tech, they say that technology is a distraction, especially in our children. You know, we have the luxury of not being surrounded by technology like iPhones and all of these digital things when we were little. So we don't know what, you know, is going to happen. There's no studies done. So we're seeing the studies as they're playing out. And children who have their eyes on screens, you know, 8 to 10 hours a day. I think they say people are on social media between 4 to 6 hours a day. I mean, there's only 24 hours in a day. That's a lot. That is a lot. And we don't know what's going to happen, but now we're seeing all of these disorders, we're seeing all of these issues, and what Richard touches on in his book is you just can't deny it. And this was made in 2005, so this is 2017. So, yeah, I mean, there's just so much that we're only learning, but the biggest thing is not to feel bad about it, because I know that my children love to play on their iPads, love to play on all these things. It's just to be conscious of it. You know, if it's a Saturday in the afternoon and it's 3 o'clock and it's nice out and, you know, sun is shining and, you know, there's rainbows, or maybe not, whatever. But, you know, if your child's on a tablet, maybe take them off of it, put them outside, bring them for a round of walk. It'll help you out too. So if anybody has any questions, please do feel free to jump into the comment section. I am more than happy to, you know, speak with you guys about this, answer any questions. This is a passion of mine, so I may, you know, I'm trying not to get off topic, but it is really important, and I'm very passionate about Richard's work. I think he is a pillar in this movement, and it's really important that we, you know, that we learn about this. Felicia, this is awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Felicia. Thank you very much. I know you have a few kiddos too, so I know you guys have different sports that you're involved in, and they're outside a lot too, which is awesome. And that's the thing too, you know, it's funny, like my kids, you know, it's always funny to go to fairs and all this other stuff, but they also love going to the park just as much. And by us, we live in Long Island, so there's this beautiful Bayard Cutting Arboretum. It's in Oakdale or Bohemia, around there. And it's gorgeous, and we go for walks and we feed the ducks, even though you're not always supposed to feed the ducks, but sometimes we do. You know, we walk around and the girls love it, and they are wiped. They are totally wiped when we get in the car. So it's a very peaceful car ride home because all of my kids are sleeping, and they just get so tired, and it's like all their senses are heightened and they have such a good time. And, you know, it's really just a great thing. And that's only just walking in a park, smelling flowers, being around animals. It really does something for you. You know, when they used to have, unfortunately we live in a day and age where children can't, you know, just run outside and be by themselves for, you know, various lengths of time, just due to life now, in 2017. But, you know, back in the day, like, they used to be able to run around and play in the woods and do all this fun stuff. So we have to make sure that we're doing our part by having them go outside, by going outside with them, by, you know, getting them involved in sports. And you don't even have to pay any money. You can go outside in the backyard if you have a backyard, or you can go to a park and bring a kickball. Kickball was huge. I still love kickball. Haven't played it in like 14 years, but I still love kickball, softball, anything, any kind of sports, you know, anything. Competitiveness is good too. A little bit of that is good too. So again, I'm just going to go over the top 10 reasons why nature is needed in childhood, you know, to help keep at least as much as you can all of these issues away, and to help children more, you know, mentally and physically. So the first one is they are healthier physically and mentally. And this is all statistically proven. Again, please go on the website, TexasChildrenandNature.org. It is not NewYorkChildrenandNature.org. I actually didn't even check if they have one, but TexasChildrenandNature.org, please do check it out. Regardless of where you are in the country, definitely show them some love. They're bringing some serious topics to light, and we really should support them. First one are that children are healthier and physically when they're in nature. Number 2, they do better in school. Number 3, have higher self-esteem. Number 4, have good self-discipline. Number 5, feel more capable and confident. Number 6, are good problem solvers. Number 7, are more cooperative with others. Number 8, are more creative. Number 9, feel connected to nature, which is so important. And 10, they are tomorrow's conservation leaders. Now, children, when they are younger, who care about the environment, who are involved in these issues, even on a small scale, they will bring that with them when they are older. Now, I've been a vegetarian since I was a little girl. My whole family, nobody else was vegetarian. And I've taken that with me my whole life. That was a decision that I made at a very young age. And my whole life since then, I've been devoted to animal rights, conservation, and everything. And I've taken it with me, and it's only grown in my life, and which is a big reason why Nature's Premier started, because we are conservationists. And when I had children, I realized, wow, we really need to do something for the environment. There needs to be more done. So this has been with me, for my whole life. It's a passion of mine. Obviously I love babies. I love children. I love everything eco, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm an environmentalist. So nature deficit disorder does hit a nerve with me. It is something that's very important, and I will do my best to, shout out anyone in the community that is looking to bring this serious disorder to light. It hasn't gained a lot of momentum, unfortunately, but as the years are passing, more and more doctors are saying, turn off the TV, turn off your tablets, and go outside. Literally just go outside. I think in Holland, I read a study in Holland, instead of giving, and this is not with children, this is with adults, but instead of giving them medication, they give them probiotics. Let's say if they're going through like an anxiety disorder or depression, those two mainly. I'm not talking about blood thinners, and that's nothing to do with that. But there was a study done in Holland where they took, I think it was 5,000 patients that were over the age of 18, and they were suffering again from anxiety and depression, and they gave them probiotics, and they told them to go for a walk 4 times a week. And they honestly, like in this study, I should post this link on my Facebook page, they cured what they had. Like the medication cured, or it helped a lot. So these good probiotics and nature literally cured what they were dealing with. Now, anxiety and depression is more of a mental disorder than an actual physical disorder, but it is shown that when you feed your body good, good food, vitamins, minerals, all the good stuff, water, drink a lot of water, and go outside, that team together will help you a lot. So it's very interesting that that study was done in Holland and not in America. We'll love to see how it was in America, but that's a total other topic. So again, guys, I definitely recommend that you check out The Last Child in the Woods by Richard Louv. Yes, it's true, Felicia. It is very true. I mean, it's funny because I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. I remember when text messages, you had like the T9 phones, right? Like in 2004 area, 2003, 2004, you had the T9 phones where you had to click the button 3 times, right, to get a T, or 3 times to get a C, something like that. And it was like 25 cents a text message. So you were very conscious of what you were texting because you knew that was going to cost you money and your parents were going to get mad. So you didn't want to deal with that. But I remember that. Now it's seconds. Seconds, you can write emojis, you can do whatever you want. Again, that's a benefit. That's a lot. It's technology's amazing. It's fantastic. But you always have to hang on to the tangible as well. And nature is tangible. You plant a tree, grow a garden, go run around outside, go grab a bike, and somebody actually said this to me a while ago, and I always think about it. When you look outside during the summer, you don't see many kids playing around anymore. You don't see them outside of the parks as much. You don't see them riding their bike around the block as much, but you do see them inside, and you do see them on their tablets, and you do see them, gaming and doing all these other things. Now, again, this is not mommy shaming at all. This is just bringing nature deficit disorder to light. I think it's just good that we all are conscious of what our children are doing and how much outside free time they're getting. Sometimes it's really funny. On like Sundays, it's a big family day for a lot of people, especially for my family. And my kids always say, they're like, oh, if not like during the winter, but during the summer, sometimes I just open the back doors. Go outside, kids. Go play outside. Get out of the house, and I clean up the house and I do what I have to do. Obviously, I'm watching them the whole time because we live in Long Island. We have a nice sized backyard, but they're outside. Mommy, I'm bored. Go play. Go play with sticks. Go draw in the sand. Go bring some clay outside. Go play with paint. Go play with bubbles. And then after like 15 minutes, I can't get the kids inside. I mean, they want to play outside all day. They want to go on the swings. It's really, really great when you make that part of like a daily habit. And even if it's not daily, we all work. We're all busy. We all have a lot going on. So, so that's why it's just important. Maybe 1-2 days a month, you go outside with your kids, go roll around with your kids, take them for a walk, things like that. It's just really, really important. And I really like Richard's book because it brings a lot of this to light. It's so well written. And it's funny because I've not had the pleasure of introducing myself to Richard yet or his team. I would love to interview him. That's a whole other thing though, because we have a big project that we're going to be launching and we're excited to share with you guys, but not yet because we're not done. But we haven't had the pleasure of meeting him or speaking with his crew. But we'd like to recommend books that really will help you learn more about parenting and different parenting topics. Now you might find this in you might not find this in like a what to expect book, but it's just as important. It's just as important to know that we need to be conscious of what our children are doing on a daily basis and, how much outside time they're getting and whatnot. Again, I'm going to ask one more time. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask below. If anybody, you can also send us a message as well through our Facebook page. We'd be more than happy to help. Also, if you can please share this video, it really does help get the message to more people who can know about this information, especially parents. It is just so, so, so important. So I'm going to wait about a minute. And yeah, the TexasChildrenandNature.org website, I was enamored with that website. I was like, this is so cool. This is so informative. And I really have to do a deep dive to see if New York has one. Because it's really, really important. And it affects everybody. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't anywhere. You can be Pennsylvania, California, anywhere. I mean, it's really important. When you live in a seasonal area, like New York has all 4 seasons, climate change is real, so we're only having 2 seasons. I mean, that's a whole other thing. But, you always have to take heed into that. But even when it's raining out, throw some sloshes on the kids, put a rain hat on, nice rain jacket, and have them go outside, have them jump in puddles, have them play, have them roll around. It's just as good. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We really do appreciate it. My name is Brooke with Nature's Premier Diaper Service. We are a cloth and compostable diaper service providing families throughout Long Island and New York City with a healthier way to diaper their babies. Should you guys have any questions about the services that we provide, please do shoot us a message through this Facebook video and we will be happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Thank you so much, guys. We will be back next Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. You enjoy your week and take care.